Boxbox Hub is an absolute essential for any Formula One fan, and the entire app with new widgets, statistics, localized race schedules, and countdowns, you name it. They even have support for Apple's new live activities feature with real-time updates during a race right on the lock screen, and honestly, some of the best looking widgets I've seen. Boxbox Hub is an absolute essential for
Well, that was a very long pre-season, wasn't it? I think that's the longest pre-season we've ever had. Goodness gracious me! Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 15 of ALR. And I gotta say, I'm very nervous because I haven't done this shtick since April. May, maybe April. I can't remember now, to be honest. So I'm a little rusty tonight. But however, we got some new challenges and trials, tribulations, and all that kind of stuff in between as well. We have a very exciting race ahead of us because we have a very unknown known Grand Prix coming up. That we have no idea what's going to happen. We have 22 cars on the grid for the first time in ALR history, and also as well, we've got these new. We've also got, sorry, I was just making sure I actually unmuted myself. And we've also got this new battery management deployment style of Grand Prix, which I experienced firsthand for about an hour on Sunday. And goodness gracious me, I haven't got the the mental capacity to even drive straight, go around corners, and think about battery deployment, and also think about using the straight line mode and all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a very, very, very difficult race. I think it's going to be a very difficult season. We got 20 rounds in this drivers' championship. There, we've also got a few new faces while in here tonight as well. I think we've got 5 reserves, which doesn't bode well, does it, for the season? But I'm not going to get upset too much so far, because of course we're in the height of the holiday season, aren't we? I think it's July. And also, is this the first day of of breaking up? The schools have broken up as well, because sadly I've had the nephews around, so that's not been good as well. Oh, I can't forget I've got a niece as well now, but she just cries and poos herself, which sounds a bit like me, to be honest. Right, who have we got then? Equals, good evening to you, Equals. Great stuff indeed then. We've got Let's Go Gold then from Knowles as well then. And we've also got Airten. So happy you're sensational. What's it? What? Airton's give me already some too many big words in the old comment section there. Voice is tickling my ears again, says Ayrton. Good stuff indeed. That I do have a I have a reading age of a 5-year-old, so I don't even know why I'm still doing this shtick, to be honest. But 15, it's 15 seasons on, I was still going strong and all that kind of stuff. I've got a new setup this year, which I actually feel a bit more streamlined and all that kind of stuff, which is fantastic indeed. But however, what I am concerned about is because I've got like 3 monitors now. I'm very concerned that my mic might pick up something a bit skew with, because for some reason these monitors output as a mic as well, and also sound and all that jazz. But IT and all that kind of stuff, switch it off and back on, and jobs are good. And thank you very much for our newest subscribers. We're back up to 751. Ideally, I want to get to 800 before the end of the season. I want to get to 1,000 then, so that then I could also start to get on the old money wagon as well then, and also to get some new shoes and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully some new merch as well. Even though I do have a fantastic Jaguar hat from 2002, Pedro Della Rosa, and I must say thank you very much. That was absolutely I must admit I love it. I really do, because I don't the F1 merch I have at the moment. I literally only have. I literally have 2 caps, and basically then I've got a load of gilets as well. Well, I have a load. I've got about 3. So thank you very much, Richard. Richard, I said, goodness gracious me, another season. Great to have you in the comments. Fantastic stuff. Have I got me top fans on? Nope. What? Let me get me live chat on the go. There we go. Julian represented the Dutch. I hope this is not a spoiler, but I think that Julian is probably the favourite for gold this season. You may see that we do have Immortal in here. Immortal's a reserve driver this season. Unfortunately, to be honest, Immortal could have and should have won the championship in the last 2 seasons potentially. Issues, of course, we've had a lot of issues over in the other countries and all that kind of stuff. But it's great to have Immortal with us, of course, and hopefully he's doing all fine and dandy over there as well. Goodness me. To be honest, if we didn't have a lot of these world leaders, I reckon we'll all get along just fine, to be honest. But there you go. Anyway, enough of the political chat then, as we are getting ready for the start of the Australian Grand Prix. I think yes, we are now. Then, so of course, we are in Albert Park, Melbourne, for the 15th time, for the 15th running of the championship here. Now, we've had 12 different pole sitters around here. We've had 11 different race winners. Emerson and Sam Swift Ninja has the most pole positions positions around this circuit. They have 2. Most Grand Prix wins around here is Immortal, Sam Swift Ninja, Lucas Percy, and I think it's those 3 as well. So apart from those 3, no one else has ever won this circuit, won on this circuit more than once, and it's just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? So we've had so many different race winners. And hello to Real Ashton. Sadly, Real Ashton is not driving in bronze this season, but I've seen his TikToks, and he's doing I do love his TikToks. I need a thing or two. I need to do a bit of TikTok training from Real Ashton, to be honest, because I must say I don't know what I'm doing on there, to be honest. We need a social media manager. I wonder if Real Ashton's available. But of course, sadly, Real Ashton's not driving for us this season, but doing well in other championships, I see. We're just waiting to get into the lobby now. Of course, we've got 22 drivers now, which means it's going to take a little longer, apparently. Lap record was from last season, believe it or not, which was many. 1:14.769. I do not expect any lap records to be broken this season. Oh my gosh, it is raining already. And oh dear. That's not good, is it? Well, we've got intermediate conditions for the opening race of the season. Well, I was going to share a fact about fastest laps, but never mind. I'm going to sit down a minute. Ria Happy, you dig the caps, and says Equals. I absolutely do. I should have said Equals brought the caps as well, whilst I was I got distracted. Thank you very much, Equals. I love it. And I actually feel cool as well for a change, which is fantastic. It really is indeed. Then right then, hello there, General Chazza. Good luck to all the old boys and Chaz, of course, driving in silver. Then of course the season preview for silver is tomorrow night, as we're trying to do videos. We're trying to split it all up and all that kind of jazz, as and because we're trying to be professional this season. Let's be honest about it, that ain't gonna happen, is it? So, unlike the real world of Formula One, then our drivers are going to have to tackle the wet conditions right from the get-go. And right from the get-go as well, we have King then, JJ King here then, making their debut tonight as well. And I think this I had the privilege to watch King in action on Sunday when we had a pre-season race and to see how it was all going. And I think the King did a very impressive job indeed then. I'm really looking forward to seeing what King can do. Currently, it's not too wet out on circuit, and there's a bit of a light rain or a light drizzle around here in Australia, which is standard stuff. He's got a bit of spray on the old back straight here. We have not got DRS anymore, of course. We do have what we call straight line mode, but straight line mode, or is it called straight line mode or overtake mode? I don't know. Everson confused me on Sunday because I called it overtake mode. No, what did I call it? I think I called it overtake mode, and I don't think it is called overtake mode. Of course, straight line mode then, of course, is not replacing DRS, is trying to dump the drag because of all the battery management in these new Formula One machines. I gotta say, I do love the look of the new Formula One cars. They look absolutely splendid. But of course, I'm not a fan of these battery management. 50-50 as a King, they're really wrestling that Formula One machine. And the Alpine car, and King is a reserve driver tonight across the line to start us on our journey. We're on board now to get us going for the first time in Australia. Oh, it's gone wide already, King has there. It just shows how difficult these cars are to drive with the lack of downforce, especially with the rain coming down from the sky, which is not ideal at all then. Forza Ferrari, says Rupla said, just play YMCA and it'll be a hit, says Real Ashton. To be honest, I could do the dance as well, actually, but then again, I think I might get kicked off of TikTok. On board there with the former world champion, the double world champion, the only world champion on the grid in ALR this year. Of course, the last 2 seasons of ALR, we seem to be in the Formula One era of 92 and 93, where our last 2 champions have not raced the next year. Then, of course, we had Nigel Mansell in 92, and then we had Alan Prost in 93. So we've got something similar to that. Of course, Flippy is the defending champion, not on the grid this season. But, of course, I think that Flippy's going to university or something like that. It was fantastic stuff indeed then. And, of course, Sam Swift Ninja is basically the undefeated champion, really. Sam Swift Ninja, a 4-time world champion in 4 seasons there. So, of course, we've got straight line mode then, but when it's in the wet, only the front, I think is it only the rear wing opens or only the front wing opens? I think it's only the front wing opens, doesn't it? So active air then when both the wings then, of course, flip up. Of course, we don't have the flippy flappy Macarena front wing, rear wing, I should say, which is on the Red Bull Bull and the Ferrari, but of course they still have straight line mode. And of course the overtake mode is now replacing the DRS mode. Of course you will see then down in the bottom there, as we're just above Emerson's helmet there. Nice. It's of course is all the telemetry. I'm going to leave the telemetry on. It's a 30.4 so far in our qualifying journey. With the all-time lap record around here is actually Medi from pole position last season there. Of course, the race lap record then is 117 by Troy back in season 12. Hello to camera racers. Well, great to have you in the comment section as well. Even Sean Goodluck of racers there. And 10 euros in my account. Fantastic. Julian's gone fast. There's Racing Bulls who finished, I think they finished 7th or 8th for the constructors last season, didn't they? Let me get my own spreadsheet up to remind myself of that. Yeah, they did. They were last in the constructors last season. No shade though, of course. Emerson only just returned it back to Grand Prix racing. There's Immortal passes by 8/10 of a second already. That's impressive stuff indeed. That X Gamer then in the McLaren Mercedes. Great to have X Gamer back in the fold. Then Marky looks strong. And talking of strong, Basel who were making their full debut tonight then in the Gold Championship and on pole position already. There is no knockout qualifying format. We haven't had that for a few seasons now. But Basil's on pole position with Immortal alongside him on row 1. KD, of course, the silver champion in 6th position on there in the Alpine. As Equal's going 2nd fast. He looked strong on Sunday when we was doing the pre-season friendly. Sounds like football. The pre-season friendly, we've got more yellow flags there. It's just drivers getting out of the way, I think, as it stands at the moment. Potstuff going 7th fastest. Potstuff looks strong in qualifying trim there. Well, certainly one lap tree. Oh, goodness me, just showing how difficult it is with the torque here. My goodness gracious me, is a Potstuff wrestling that Haas like a slippery eel. Good evening to Sirius Mushroom. Of course, Sirius Mushroom in action on Wednesday for Bronson. And happy Barf Day. Absolutely, it's of course far from the Barf on a Monday. Of course, as he used to race on Monday, didn't he? But he used to have a bath first, didn't he? Kieran as in bad at that time. On board for the first time this season with the Audi. Oh, does that sound good? Having Audi on the Formula 1 grid across the line for Vessier. 7th fastest for Vessier. He is one of the favourites, I feel, for silver going forward into tomorrow night's Grand Prix. Certainly for more Grand Prix wins. I think he's going to be a championship challenger, you know. But hopefully I haven't given him the commentator's curse there, which very much is real. I like the look of this Red Bull as well. Doesn't the Red Bull look so much better? Justify ALR is back. Woo! Justify a part of the bronze grid then. Of course, Justify got pole position in the event league here, I think last season is. Karen goes 6th fastest and that has been quickly replaced by Riley, who goes up to 5th in the Cadillac. Riley also a Super Sub tonight as well, as George Russell has come out and left the session there, unfortunately for Russell. I think he just wanted a bit of race time after what happened in Belgium yesterday. Liam Robertson making their debut tonight as well. Great stuff for the Audi driver up into 4th as it stands at the moment there. I must say there's a lot of the reserve drivers looking quite tip-top in the moment. Then Sweet Crown going pole position then in this qualifying session moment. King has gone back up into 6th position then in the Alpine there. I need to itch my face here. Oh, there you go. Oh, lovely. Emerson there going at 7th fastest. Julian 6/10 of a second improvement here. So this qualifying session is not only about trying to find your feet on these battery operated cars now, it's also trying to tackle the weather as well. I think a lot of drivers, Julian's now on pole position at 29.110. Of course, no knockout qualifying, no knockout anymore in Formula 1, of course, as this is all about then getting fastest position. Immortal goes at 2nd fastest. What about the McLaren Mercedes in the background there? As a Gamer goes up into 6th position there. Of course, a Grand Prix winner in silver, has never won in gold, has he? Unfortunately, of course, so it's the front wings that go down, not the rear wings in these wet weather conditions there. As Basil goes on pole position then with just under 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. And look at this, and it's very tough condition out there at the moment. Every car is on circuit at the moment, apart from Knowlesy, Potstuff and Vestier. Knowlesy is the only driver that is yet to set a time on the board then. Riley back up in the 4th position, but just like I say that, he's gone back down to 5th, and his Equals is up in the 3rd as well. It's going to be like a fruit machine out there, isn't it? I hate the battery on this game, says Sam Swift Ninja, the 4-time world champion of ALR. I must admit, it's a very tough... As Equans waving at me, fantastic. Of course, that was a lovely shot of the new front wing that's going on at the moment. It's very Very interesting, the straight line mode. It really is indeed. Then, yes, I must admit, the battery. It does feel a lot. The batteries is very, very difficult to manage. I must say, especially around this circuit where I'm going to be talking a lot about harvesting, unfortunately, and all that kinds of mumbo jumbo. Here comes Marky. As you can see, the telemetry down there has completely depleted. Then, hasn't it, for Marky in the Cadillac? I still not played this properly since the day it came out. Since the day after it came out, I played it for a couple of hours on Sunday, but that was about it, to be honest. But luckily, I'm not a competitor or a participant there. Here's Marky then, hassling the car as he comes out of turn 14. Used to be 16. Unfortunately, we lost 2 turns in this Grand Prix. Coming to the line now for Marky across the line, and Marky goes into them for this there, about halfway then. Remember as well, the other new rules in this season as well is that points goes down to 15th now. I must admit, I'm a bit disappointed that the points have gone all the way down to 15th, firstly, because of course it's like I feel that you need to earn your points, but we're giving them out left, right, and centre now, aren't we? Emerson there flies past me. Then of course got the front wing, active as well. You're not alone, Sam Swift says. Camera Racer then. So people don't like change. No excuse for you, Sam. I don't like change either. Bring back V10 said, or V8 said. But of course, I think V8's come back in 2030, haven't they? Not a moment too soon. But I think I've also heard they're bringing back refueling. Sweet Crown's on pole position then by 0.4 of a second there. I remember Sweet Crown, a Grand Prix winner, and I think I'll have to check my notes then. As Emerson goes second fastest on very used intermediate tyres there. As Emerson then on the front row of the grid there with just 7.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. Incredible. Here comes Julian then coming out of the final turn now. I think that Julian's abandoned his time, has he? I say he has, but he hasn't actually, because I was very much dumbfounded by the amount of battery he had left there, so Julian can go quicker than that. The racing bulls look very strong at this stage of proceedings, and yes, I know it's only qualifying. I should not get so excited, but Julian is on the front row of the grid then, and Emerson in third position. And Emerson that was the only driver of full-time drivers that didn't have a top 10 finish last season. Goodness me, I'm harsh. Get wrecked. We're out to pole position. We got a yellow flag somewhere. It's in the it's on the Alan Jones chicane. I heard Murray Walker call it that in 97 or 98. Equals there is trying to find some more time on the board. Then Equals looking quite strong in that Haas car. He only had he did have a very good season last season. Having said that, he did get a very good second position in Canada. He loves Canada, doesn't he? Does Equals there? I think that he's into the pit zone, so he lines me up and knocks me down. Roberts currently in 10th position there as he going through the car park here of turn 3 and 4, now turn 5 as well, as look how close that barrier is there. That's going to catch out the unwary, isn't it? Tory 7/10 of a second down. The Kieran down in 16th position at the moment. Potstuff is down in 19th. He's back up to 10th now, is Potstuff. But I was expecting Potstuff to be a bit further up the field than that then. But you can't really expect much in this new formula, can you? Because I say that the form book is well and truly out the window. Good evening to Edu as well. Greetings, everyone. Good luck at gold. Great to have you all in the comments section tonight. I absolutely love it. Because you're not old, Sam Swift Ninja. Age has nothing to do with Serious Russian, says Sam Swift Ninja. Oh, dare you. Nolsey's out on circuit in his beautiful Scuderia Ferrari. The other Ferrari of Brabant down in 15th as well. That's the commentator's curse. I apologise, Brabant. As also as well is I might have also crowned Brabant a champion, even though he hasn't won gold yet, which the season preview. But luckily, no one listens to that. Nolsey then coming into turn 11, I think it is. I must admit that turn 11, I prefer the old version of that corner personally. But there you go. As Serious Mission said, I'm a man who doesn't like change. Then. I certainly don't know. As just going Nolsey into... Oh, goodness me, there's so much opposite lock there for Nolsey, as he couldn't get the power down. It's just so much torque in these twisting power in the cars, he's able, but he still goes 10th fastest, does Alexander. This is the last venue where he caught a Grand Prix winner in his ALR career. Way back in the dinosaur times. And Riley out on circuit now. As you can tell, the off-season has not mellowed me, has it? Here comes Riley. I must admit, Riley's superb at the moment. He is absolutely fantastic in the Cadillac. Can't remember if he drives in the Cadillac in it still. Oh my gosh! Oh, I apologise. I screamed in your local hole there. I thought he was going to do a Felipe Massa there, where Massa crashed there quite heavily in the 2013 qualifying session. But Riley there kept well howled, sir. Goodness me, he howled it better than me. As I thought he was going into the scene of the accident. Good evening to Stephen then, also back at ALR as well. Stephen is in in bronze. ALR's back and Sean as well. Order has been restored then. Yes, what's everyone been doing without me on Monday nights? Goodness gracious me. So we got Immortal. He's got a lot of battery left, hasn't he? Yellow flag out there again. Then, of course, 22 cars on the grid. Don't we just love having 22 cars on the grid? I do. I'm glad that we've got a new team in Formula 1 as well. Immortal, Whisker Sloan and Sweet Crown, who still has pole position. And whilst that's going on, let me get my mouse to find where is my all-time stat book. I can't find it now. Uh-oh, I deleted it. Whoops, that's not good, is it? Basil's now on pole position. Whilst I was trying to find my stat book, as Basil saving me bacon there, and I do love me bacon. I apologise to Sweet Crown has been on pole position twice before, so I apologise to Sweet Crown. Shocker 70. Kieran now moves himself up to second position there. So Troy, good evening, and good evening to Troy. And of course, as I was mentioning on the beginning of the broadcast, Troy's got the fastest race lap around here back in season 12, which is a superb accolade to have, isn't it? For Troy, I'm sure Troy cherishes that forever, doesn't he? KD up to fourth now. Immortal's currently fifth moment. Julian's going for another lap as well, as is Emerson. Equals is in 10th finish there, as he has still got a lot of battery. What about Brabbit? Brabbit, it looks like he's on an in-lap then with 2 minutes to go in this qualified session. Well, 3 minutes to be precise. Sweet Crown has found a second in the first sector there. Has, not Sweet Crown, the other sweet MJP finished 6th in the Drivers' Championship last season. Of course, the Aston Martin in real life is not a very good car, even though they got the B-Spec coming out this weekend in Hungary. Well, to us, it needs to be probably more of a C or maybe even a D-Spec. As I think that Emerson shared a stat actually the other day about the Aston Martin was slower than was further away from pole position compared to the HRT, which is only 5.3 seconds slower in 2012 out of the final turn. And that HRT was not a good car, was it? I think the Marquis go to have another bite of the cherry as well, as Mad Max down in 21st at the moment is Mad Max, struggling in that Williams car, and he looks like he's lost the whole of the wing section there, so the active air is not going to work if there's no wing there. My word. When are you driving Mush on Wednesday? Says Serious Bush today. If he installs the game, then I'll install it. I'll install you in a minute. Oh goodness me! As a Troy, it's pole position there for Hilton there with just 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session there. But I think that these times are going to be tumbling like a fruit machine. But Hilton on pole position for the Australian Grand Prix. I haven't got a fact of when he was last on pole position, but I think it was similar to when Knowlesy was last won a race, so around dinosaur times. Going for his 34th pole position now is Hilton. What about Basil? Currently Basil is on a harvesting lap then. Sweet Crown, 7/10 of a second up there. We got about 80 seconds left in this qualifying session there. Immortal is crawling. Julian is now on his final time run as well. I'm already glistening with sweat. Goodness gracious me. Equals is winding up and letting it go. Brabbit as well. That I don't think it was on a quick lap at the moment, are they? Sweet Crown, pot stuff. We got Sebastian, JJ King. I'm going to say JJ Abrams. Who's that guy, the director Star Wars? Out of the final turn then. Will you make a guest appearance in one of the races, Sean? Only if they're desperate, but I cannot make too many guests. Marky's on pole position then with less than a minute to go in qualifying. And Marky's on pole position then. Is it the conditions or is it drivers getting used to the machinery underneath their posterior here? Potentially. 30 seconds to go in this qualifying session, but Marky is on pole position then. Who am I looking for? Hilton's going to go for one more bite of the cherry. Basil is looks like he was down in the first sector there. Now will never. That is Bon Jovi sung. And Sweet Crown is now on pole position at 27.6. These times are rapid there. I was expecting to be a lot slower than this, especially with the wet conditions. But Sweet Crown on pole position. Katie has gone into second position there in the Alpine car then. So Katie, of course, the silver champion then. So there's a lot riding on him, is there? And I think Alpine have got. Who's that? That's an Audi in the wall. I love saying Audi. That's an Audi in the wall. Safast is down in 14th. Man Max is down in 21st position there. Julian is second fastest. I was going to say only second fastest. What's that Aston Martin doing in the background there? The Aston Martin of Sweet has gone 12th fastest there. It's still Sweet Crown on pole position there for the Australian Grand Prix as it stands at the moment then. Who am I looking for? I think I'm looking for a Haas of some kind then. Where are Haas? Pot Stuffen is currently in the middle sector. Equals is up in third position. I'm looking at the wrong Haas. Equals is in third position then. Goodness gracious me. Marky's in the pits. Brabbit only 9th position there. Goodness gracious me. Nolsey coming up to the line this one. No, it was an Audi, I apologise. Audi is now in 18th position. Liam Roberts is only down in 13th position there. At the moment, Basil's only 4th position. Riley's up to 5th. That's incredible stuff. And what about Nolsey across the line then? And then Nolsey is gone up to 12th. It's an all Ferrari row 6 here at the moment. Incredible stuff indeed then. And as the checker flag has fallen, I'm sorry, I've knocked my microphone completely miles off my face. As Sweet Crown is currently on pole position there. Emerson only 6 at the end then. Immortal is a 5th fastest as well. Thank goodness gracious me. So I think that they're all falling by the wayside now. And Roberts is also finished as well in this qualifying session. Tory stays in 22nd and last. And Sweet Crown, pole position there for Sweet Crown. That's pole position number 3 of his career. Oh, fantastic stuff indeed. And that is his first pole position of the season there. Let me get my spreadsheet up because I forget to do it when I need to do it later on. Sweet Crown pole position then number 1 of the season. His first pole position of the season for Sweet Crown. Mercedes first pole position of the season as well. Fantastic stuff for Mercedes. And my goodness me, just like in real life, Mercedes have started off very well in qualifying there. KD in 8th position then. In 8th position at the moment there for KD. But my goodness me, KD's retired from the session. I know for a fact that Emerson is cheated. By the way, I do as well. He's like Lance Armstrong in the ALR world. Shocking stuff indeed. Needs to get those titles stripped. Right. Has he got 4 thumbs, Ayrton? Scrap says Equaz. I must admit, I thought Equaz was going to be a bit higher up than that. Not throwing any shade on anyone, but Equaz looked very good in the opening stage of that qualifying session, didn't they? Take a shot every time Sean says pole position. I think you'll all be drunk as well. Not that I'm aware of, says Ayrton. Having said that, only Foresters have 5 fingers and 2 toes and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we'll see the final classification from qualifying. But I've just got to please wait at the moment, which always makes me nervous. And no, we're not. That's good stuff. Right, where am I then? I'll show you my hash on that. Ooh, don't tell me of a good time there. Scraps, your third Equal said, nosebleed. We got lovely sunshine now. So what a tricky start to this World Championship there. New cars in which drivers got to get their head around. They got active aero, which is basically like DRS in a way, where you press a button and your rear wing flips open and also your front wing will flip open. We didn't have the rear wing flipping open in qualified, of course, because of the rain affected conditions. In the race, we are expecting active aero to be both front and rear wing to be all sorted and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't kiss anyone, by the way. I was just licking my lips. We will also have the overtake mode as well. That is like DRS, where you're in 1 second of the car behind. And of course, you will get that boost all the way through the next lap there. Oh my word, then. Let go gold then, it says Serious Bush. Good luck. Gosh, there's too many rules at this new era Formula 1, isn't it? Oh gosh. Goodness me, just need pure racing, don't we? I do think that I know that a lot of drivers are not overly keen on this. We heard Sam Swift Ninja, of course, former world champion in ALR, of course, season 10, 11, 12, and 13. Technically the most successful driver in terms of championships. He doesn't have he's 2 wins behind Emerson at the moment. So who do you class as greater, Sam Swift Ninja or Emerson? Emerson has 33 wins, while Sam Swift has 31. But Sam Swift does have 4 championships there, so I would say probably Sam Swift there, but I'll leave that into the comments there. Accent under Lyco, says Serious Motion. That is lift in coast, isn't it? Is Lyco lift in coast? I don't know. Or is that some kind of Coca-Cola brand? Potentially. Right, as we're waiting for the drivers to get going and for the start of the race. Formation lap is back on, by the way, so which is good for me because now I can go through the grid and all that kind of stuff. Mercedes on pole position with the racing ball alongside. Let's look at the tyre strategy. There are the tyres. Sweet Crown pole position is third of his career with a Julian alongside him on row 1. And I must admit, I'm a little concerned because I don't know how I'm going to get Julian in the commentary box because he's still on PC and we haven't figured that out yet. But to be fair, it's not like we've had like 3 months to sort that out, is it? Julian second position. Equals in third position there. I was saying Equals, I was probably expecting Equals to be on pole position, but because he's, oh goodness me, and that is surely a penalty. And I'm wondering if Farf is watching there, because of course Farf is always watching. Goodness me, he's like Alexa, isn't he? Basil on his debut in 4th position, superb superb 17th. Immortal in 5th position with Emerson in 6th. And Riley 7th. What a superb start from Riley. 8th is KD with Markey in 9th. The Duke in 10th position in 2nd Mercedes. A little behind his teammate who's on pole position. Kieran in 11th position in that Red Bull with Brabbit in 12th. Nosey in 13th with X-Gamer in 14th. Roberts on their debut in 15th position there. Of course, the highest of the reserve drivers then, or the new reserve drivers then, superb 17. Would have been the highest of the debutants as well for Roberts, but of course Basil's in 4th. 16th is Sweet with Potstuff in 17th. Savasta in 18th. Vessier in 19th. King in 20th position. Mad Max is really struggling, as has Tori as well. We didn't see much from both drivers, but both drivers languishing on the 11th row of the grid, so they're the first drivers ever in the ALR to qualify 21st and 22nd. Not an accolade they want, but unfortunately they're not too happy that I've said it either, I suppose. Hard tires for Roberts, for Sweet, Potstuff, Tori, and Julian. Everyone else is on the medium compounded tires. I'm going to put telemetry up then. I listen to your I'll listen to what everyone makes of that. I'm putting it up so we can know what the battery's doing, because I gotta say it's very difficult to know what's going on with that telemetry. I'll turn it off if you want me to. Troy is the greatest. Well, to be honest, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. As it goes on saying, Troy has as a Mad Max, Tori has missed his grid box. Tori, who was quite a high runner in the silver, wasn't he, last season? So he's probably not used to starting so far back. We are waiting for those lights to come on. Then there they are. We have 3, 4, 5. There is no start procedure like we do in real F1. Lights out there. And away we go then for the start of the season 15 of Grand Prix racing in ALR. It's a long run down into turn 1 there, but Sweet Crown has got the lead with Equals up in the 2nd position there. As they've all got away, there's a very wide, I think that was a Mercedes there, was it? Potentially there's a McLaren who's struggling in the background there as well. As it's an Audi of Roberts all the way down the order. As Brabant's flown through the field like a hot knife through batteries, already up into 8th position already. Immortals in 6th there, with Markey is in 7th and Brabant in 8th position there, of course, but Brabant's on the outside. There's contact between the Cadillac and the Ferrari. And now through goes KD in up to 8th position. Yes, he's through. As unfortunately Markey's been hung out to dry, and Riley uses the battery and sprints past. And look at these gaggle of cars here. This is going to be free wide then on the back straight. And my goodness gracious me, this is intense racing already. Batteries out there for the Toro, for the Audi, no, for the Alpine. And on the inside there goes the Red Bull as well. This is absolute chaos in the opening stage of the Australian Grand Prix. Sparks are flying literally and figuratively as well. And they're all over the show here. They're racing left and right. Julian's got past Basil, has he? I think he has. Up into 3rd position. There's more contact in the background. See Cadillac almost spinning. Markey is getting bullied down into 14th position. Oh my goodness gracious me! There's cars all over the show here. There's batteries all over the place here. As just watching them, got overtake mode already. Then there's a ghosting car there. That one completed. Look at the gap there. It's 2/10 of a second. Basil up in the 3rd position. They're getting past Julian. Emerson right in the thick of things as well. Mortal in 6th position. Brabant, what a start! He's up 5 positions. Sweet up 5 positions as well. Tori up 6. Goodness me, you don't need qualifying, do you? Oh my goodness gracious me! Into the car park as well. That as we've also got KD and Kieran, who is also down in 10th position as well. We've also got Tori getting past Nosey, as a Nosey on the outside there. As Nosey's now in 16th position. Tori down into 17th position there. Potster followed by Game, and then we got Mad Max, Liam, and King all the way down the order. Oh my gosh, there. Oh, why is the stream bad, is it? Oh dear. Well, I've got nothing shown on my side. Hang on. Do I dare touch anything? I'll leave it for now because I'll probably break it. So Savasta is now into 13th position with Markey in 14th. Goodness gracious me, as we got Sweet. Whoa, that's an Alpine of KD off the circuit there. And that's a bit of an unsafe release there from KD. And unfortunately, both Alpines are down into 21st and 22nd position there at this stage. My goodness gracious me, there's more contact at the back here. Roberts is fighting with Mad Max, and also I think that's the Alpine of King also getting involved in some malarkey as well. Oh my goodness, gracious me, that Equals is now leading the race unbeknownst to me, whilst I have been absolutely waffling away. Sweet in second, Basil in third, then Julian is now in fourth position with Emerson down in fifth position. Sixth position is Immortal with Brabant in seventh. Riley is in eighth position. Kieran is ninth, and with Duke in 10th position. Sweet in 11th. 12th is Sir Vasta. 13th position is Vested. And more yellow flags in the background, and that's it's KD off the circuit. Unfortunately, KD has had an issue down in 22nd position. We've still got all 22 runners and riders still going for it. Then as we've now got Equals who's leading the race, and he has overtake mode, of course, and you can tell that because it's blue on the old battery deployment. Emerson is lost out to Immortal. Emerson's down into a sixth position. I am looking everywhere, and I don't actually know where to look. That is Equals has lost the lead. That is Sweet Crown leads. And whilst I'm looking at the midfield, then shocking stuff, Mr. Director. On the outside, then it goes. Sweet. I think it is Sweet on the outside. He's through, and Duke is down into 11th position there. As Sweet Crown, Equals, Immortal, or someone else then for the race winner. Then I gotta say that's it's like picking the lottery numbers at the moment, isn't it? Because who knows? My word. As out of the final turn then for Immortal gets the pass up the race and back on board with Vessier in the Audi. As Sebastian's got past Duke. Duke has lost two positions in the matter of corners there into a turn when we come now. Goodness gracious me, that as I got into turn one then as look at this, and it's all over the gearbox. Put the house phone down, Sean. Sean's on dial-up internet. Oh yeah, the stream is terrible. Flip it out. What's going on there? I don't actually know. Because on my side, I'm not dropping any frames or anything. But that looks terrible. Flip it out. I might have to get the old turn off and turn it back on, I reckon. Dear, oh dear, I apologise, guys. That's not good at all. What a crap race then. This is Mayhem, says Serious Question then. DLC seems to have mixed up the grid then. Goodness, maybe make an appearance as Troy. Paul, goodness gracious me as well. As Pot Stuff is now down into a 19th position. We've got a lot of, I must admit, I'm not sure as I see that this is Mayhem then. We know that Camera is not a fan of it because there's been a lot of Camera's been very strong in terms of not liking the battery deployment now. Back on board with Equals in third position among there. It is very difficult to know that. As KD's got the first, unfortunately, he's got the unfortunate accolade of getting the first penalty of the season. Julian is now taking the lead here in Australia as going down into turn one. Sweet Crown back into second position, and Equals is looking strong in that Haas car, isn't he? He's looking fantastic. As my word then. Forza Ferrari says Ruthless. I apologise by the way about the stream quality. I don't know why it's bad. I'm gonna have to look out and see why it's terrible later on. Maybe someone should have tested this before coming on air after 2 months on, but you know, fail to prepare, prepare to fail, as they used to tell me it worked. Right, Riley, you're doing a good job in 7th position, isn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there. Let's take a look at the tyre strategy. There they are out there at the moment. Is tyres going to be a factor in this new era of Formula? Well, I think so, but I must admit, I have no idea what is going on at the moment in this one. There's Emerson dropping down the order. Yellow flag as Tory is the first retirement of the of the season 15 championship. And is this a VSC or is this a safety car? I think it's a VSC at the moment. It's a virtual safety car at this moment in time. Unfortunately, Tory is the first car out of the race and really struggled Tory has on this circuit. Whether that is Circuit Pacific there for Tory or if it's the new era of cars remains to be seen. And of course, Tory is not a slow driver. I'm wondering if he's having the George Russell issue where he's just struggling to really get into the thick of things. So no one's going to come into the pitch just yet. I think it's far too early. We're expecting 1 stops in this race there. So VSC at the moment. We've got a big gap between between the top 8, which is all Lionel Stern, and then we have Roberts out of the race as well on their debut. That's not good. Then we've got pit stop action then. So Roberts, where is Roberts retired? Is he retired coming in the pits then, has he? Or is he hit the wall coming in then? I think that Roberts is out of the race actually. Well, he's not in the pits, I don't think. That is, we got migrating host. Oh no, what's happened? Knowles left the session. Oh dear. And we got issues already then on this game then. That is terrible stuff indeed. I'm not sure if I've left or if anyone else has left, but oh dear, oh dear. My stream looks normal and in HD, says Ruthless. My stream doesn't look very good, to be honest. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, at the moment, I've got a black screen. I'm not sure if everyone else has got a black screen or if it is just me. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, let me quickly get the as I think everyone's had issues because everyone's disconnected. Then that's not a good start, is it? But yeah, it was migration host. So we've got a mass disconnection here. Then Riley, what the duck? Then that's unfortunate. Deary me. Then I've disconnected. Says that well, sir. I was enjoying holding everyone up, says Kieran. What are we doing then, Sir Sylvester? We're just waiting to see what's going on, and then we'll get back to it. Hydration break. Absolutely, I need a hydration break, actually, to be honest. Yes, we're now Americanizing. Oh, we're back! We're back! Normal grip, straight mode resumed. We're back racing. Everyone. Oh, now we got a new starter, which is fantastic. Good stuff. Now we're back green now in a drive-through penalty. Goodness gracious me! What a mess that start ALR, isn't it? And I must say that we decided to wait till after the World Cup before any of this malarkey came into fruition. Maybe we should have waited another month or two. I don't know. Goodness me. Wait, what's this? I think, don't worry about this. I think that. Oh my goodness me! That is surely an injury. Someone is completely in the kitty litter. Low grip. Straight mode has been restricted. Then, as goodness me. So just waiting to see what the restart. Then says Nosey. So it's going to be a restart, and we'll get going. Whilst that's going on, let me see what's going on with me old frame rates and stuff like that. And why am I buffering all the time? I'm not losing anything. Interesting. Well, that's a dumb squid, isn't it? I'll let you know what. Bad him. Nathan's asked to take Sweet Crown's spot. So I'll let you know what the running order is in just a jiffy. Then, as soon as I know, you will know as well. Then, so I'll keep an eye on the Discord then, and then we'll get back going as well. Then, as I've been invited to a new game. Fantastic. Oh, well, that was exciting, wasn't it? What a good start to the season. Then. What do you guys think about that yo-yo race? And then, of course, we've seen it in the real world of F1. I don't think it's okay, but I must say it's very difficult to keep up with. And also, as well, I know that some drivers really don't like it. Equals is loving it out there at the moment, though, isn't he? A superb start to Equals' Formula One career. So, Sean, call 7 at IT, Sean. Hang on. Hello. God, dearie me, cringe. I'm gonna try and turn. I need to turn it off and back on, don't I? But anyway, we're just back in the session now, so we'll be getting back on soon. Then. So Farfa asked about race winners in the poll and all that kind of stuff. We got someone else, 73%. So we had Sweet Crown at 18%, Equals 9%, and Mortal. No one's voted for Mortal yet. Remember, Mortal, multiple time Grand Prix winner. I think Mortal's got the most pole positions of anyone in the ALR, isn't it? That's incredible stuff indeed. That we don't know what the cause of that yet is, but we'll hopefully find out later on tonight. Then, but I think from so what laps are we going to go from is my query then, and also the query is as well. Then, are we going to start from the positions of the last lap? We have to, surely. It depends on what the stewards are doing, all that kind of stuff. But as Tori's back in the session there, so Tori gets a reprieve here, even if he had retired from the race set. But of course, red flags and all that kind of stuff will go from a lap before. So technically, Tori was still in the race from a lap before and all that kind of stuff. But nice to see the quality of the games keep improving. Then, are we starting from lap one? Says Westwood. I don't know yet, to be honest. I'm just waiting to hear what the stewards say and all that kind of stuff. I'll keep it on the Discord, and then we'll go from there. So as soon as I know, you will know. Hopefully, anyway, unless I forget to check the Discord, which is highly likely, to be honest, because I must say I've got attention of a goldfish. But how does anyone know what goldfish's attention is? Oh my gosh, we got IndyCar going on tonight. Oh, because it got didn't IndyCar get cancelled last night? The Music City one. It was a bit rainy, wasn't it? And also they had to delay it because of the World Cup final, which I gotta say was one of the most boringest World Cup finals I have ever seen. Then happy the Spain won, of course. So it's all good stuff indeed. Then. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on, just keeping on the chat to see what decisions are being made by the stewards. Of course, we've got a team of stewards there, which will be determining what is going to happen and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so as it stands right now, let's just hear from some of the drivers. What have they made about the opening couple of laps here in this Grand Prix? Then you have to start from lap one. You can't change at what lap you start, bro. Really? Oh, that is awful. I was wondering it, because what lap was we on? We was on lap 9 or 10, weren't we? So I was wondering if we could set it down to maybe 35% race distance or something, potentially. I don't know. But Emerson has said that the overtake is OP. So that's the state so far there. As Kieran saying that he was holding everyone up so far. As soon as you drop out that second, you fall so far behind to Emerson. Yeah, and that's what Kieran might have been 5 seconds back at the moment so far. Hmm. Yeah, it's a very well. Obviously, it's a very formula heavy dependent battery formula these days, isn't it? Of course, I think next year they are making some rule changes to the aerodynamics and to the battery as well. I think that they're tweaking it a bit, and they're not going 60-40 as such. They're tweaking it a bit more, and they're also shortening the races. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed or denied yet. And then going forward, they're going to try and get it down to a 60-40 split for 2028, which I think is the right direction, isn't it? But I'm with Carlos Sainz in this camp, to be honest, because they've had simulations since 2022, 2023, even 2024. They've had a lot of time to prepare for this, and if someone's seen that, it's like, oh, this is good. I'm sure that someone should have raised the alarm about it. But there you go. However, I still have enjoyed the actual Formula One season. Don't get me wrong, but I must admit it does make me sad seeing that the cars are de-accelerating through the likes of Eau Rouge and Radeon and everything. When are we returning at Knowles to P1 then? Is that we just got as we got that scary new qualifying that says Anthony, yeah, let's go again. Hopefully we'll have a dry qualifying as well now then, and all that kind of stuff. But oh gosh, I am sweaty as anything. I'm still waiting. I think that we're going to go with 29 laps again, so it's going to be a full race restart then, rather than going 35%. What was 35%? 35% was probably about 20 laps, wasn't it? Something like that. So I was wondering if the stewards might lean towards that direction then potentially and just have a 35% race until the end of the Grand Prix. But it looks like we're sticking with 29% at the moment as the grid is just getting started now then. So it'd be interesting to know if the drivers may be able to tweak their strategies now potentially. Maybe they're thinking actually the medium tires is not a good idea to start on, or maybe the drivers that started on the hard tires is going to swap to the medium tires potentially. Who knows? That there's going to be a lot of interesting developments going on in the next hour or so. Goodness me! And of course, what way to start the season as well as there. Of course, we was expecting this. I'm enjoying the new reg. Says Everson there on the game or in real life. I kind of am, or I kind of not. Don't get me wrong. I quite like the fact that Kimi Antonelli's winning, which is great stuff. I think it's good. But also as well, it does make me sad then when they derate. I do like the cars though. I love the fact that the cars are slimmer. They look more nimble, don't they? They look faster. I know that of course the ground effect era cars was just, probably so much more fun to drive from a driver point of view. But doesn't the cars look so much nicer? And they don't, because they're not on rails as well. I feel that because they're not on rails as well, I do feel it makes it makes the race more entertaining, which is all good stuff. Julian just asked if we're allowed if we do need to start the same tires there, as Vesser needs to pick his car. We got George Russell in the Audi now, so we got two Audi drivers now in the Audi. So Audi's not going to get any points on their debut, unfortunately, because reserve drivers do not score points for the constructors. Because a few years ago in bronze, we had basically a driver who basically resolved all the way through bronze and basically gave him the constructor championship, which was unfair. Well, was it unfair? Don't know, but there you go. Hopefully, it just it makes drivers turn up and all that kind of stuff. Where was I? Um, there was only 5 laps in. Oh, were they? Oh, oh gosh! I thought you was 8, 9 laps in. Goodness gracious me! So yeah, I'll wind me neck in, and then of course we'll go back to the 29 laps of the Grand Prix as well. Sounds like I got somewhere to be. Absolutely not. I have done me. I've washed my bed sheets today for the first time since 2023, so I'm very happy with that. I've had a very accomplished day, and all that kind of stuff. However, what I haven't done is I haven't done the season preview for bronze yet, which It's going to be a very quick. It's going to have to be a very quick upload tomorrow night. Then hopefully the roadworks is not going to be terrible tomorrow, which it probably will be. Has anyone else got issues with roadworks at the moment? Because I must say, at the moment, it's absolutely a pain in the rear. Is there going to be a halftime show? Yes, there is. Madonna's going to be coming out in a minute, shaking that fig and all that kind of stuff as well. And then we're going to get Shakira on as well. I do agree with Roy Keane that everyone loves to see Shakira, don't we? Good stuff indeed. Then, yeah, but I also agree with Rudy as well. I didn't really like the halftime show at all. To be fair, I think I actually was playing F1 at the time, so it just shows how interesting that was to me. But if you want a halftime show, yes, bring it on, I say. As I think Vesser quickly got into the Audi seat there, right at the very end. Then, so Emerson does like both the regulations. I do, but I don't like the battery stuff. But I love the cars. But there you go. But I just like moaning. So I'm a typical Brit. I just like moaning. Whether it's about the hot weather, whether it's raining or not, and all that kind of like. I'm glad the hot weather's come now because I've been able to dry me clothes a lot quicker, which means that I don't have to keep having me horse stand here there always out there, which is good stuff indeed. As you can tell, I've got a load of big problems in my life, haven't I? Sorry, I was wetting me whistle before we start to get into this Grand Prix. So, going to have another bite of the cherry now, then here in Australia. Of course, I was looking for the all-time fastest up around here, wasn't I? And then we compare the times from these cars compared to the old cars. So the all-time race lap record around here is a 1:17.215, which was set by Tory in 2012. The all-time lap record, which is qualifying basically, was a 1:14.769. Nice, set by Medi last season. There, of course, Mortal went on to win this race last season. The fast lap was by a driver who only raced a couple of times in ALR, which was Revet, which is all good stuff indeed. Then, of course, and the fastest up last season around here was a 1:18.066. Keep that in mind because that could be very interesting indeed. Then, actually, I want to share a quick stat which I found out when I was faffing about over the preseason. Last season, we actually had two all-time lap records broken last season, which is absolutely incredible stuff. Of course, which was in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, which is at Villiers, and that's the fastest that we've ever been around there, which I'm quite surprised by in this era of Formula One car. And of course, Medi also got it last season as well. In terms of the race lap records, it was broken last season. Kieran got that from Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That was the only race lap record that was broken last season, which I was quite surprised by, to be honest, because a lot of our lap records, or I thought a lot of the lap records would still be around season 6. Season 6, Season 5, Season 7 of ALR, where of course we had the F1 2020 machines. From that era of Grand Prix racing, we've only got Bahrain still got that record from Season 6, which is set by Gurman, and Gurman's also got the all-time lap record at the Red Bull Ring as well. Andy has in Season 6. I think the Season 6 was a very good season for Gurman, was it? I think was that the season where he was champion potentially. Who knows? I'm 18th instead of 19th, but it says a best year. I'm wondering if someone didn't return back to the lobby potentially. But we'll see. We'll see what the stewards do about that. But Vesher maybe getting an unfair advantage. Then is that favouritism? Absolutely. Goodness gracious me, shocking stuff indeed. Charles, I've already shown my favouritism because I think that Vesher is going to be one of the championship contenders going forward in silver. It'd be very interesting. But I must admit, looking at this race and how this race has gone for the first opening couple of laps, then it basically has just been a test race, hasn't it? Really. But I must admit. Doesn't Riley look absolutely fantastic there? I'm going to change my pick. I reckon Vestia will certainly be in there to win it still, but Riley is looking pretty phenomenal. I think we're going for another formation lap again. Then as the grid is got off the circuit again. We got a new driver in here tonight. Now then is Russell, which means I've got to figure out who is not returned. Then which I think it might have been King? No, King's still in there. I don't know who's not returned then. Maybe I should have been paying more attention, potentially. More attention to the racer. So, in terms of tyre strategy, then, Julian's gone to the hard tyres now. Sweet on the hard tyres with Tory and George Russell on the hard tyres as well. But so, good stuff indeed then. So, one of the Audis has not returned then. I did not see who the other Audi was, unfortunately. Because I didn't even note it down, so that's shocking indeed. So that is sad. Everyone loves me, says let's hear. As we're just on board now, then call JJ King if you want instead of King. Up to you though, says Weston. I'll go JJ King JW7 then. Apologise. I'm sorry if I'm terrible. I don't even know why I'm doing this, to be honest. Goodness gracious me, I'm just I think it's because they always scrape the bottom of the barrel, don't they? Because it's either me or Favre. And we all, to us, Favre only ever done one commentary, didn't he? Which I must admit is still one of my favourite commentary, one of my favourite streams of all time. Also because I was also on McDonald's as well while I was on commentary, and that was also the race where Equals got his one and only Grand Prix win as well, which is superb stuff indeed. Hurry up, Corey's on it, says Serious Mushroom. Of course, we do not want to miss it when Bradley gets kicked off of the Queen Vic, of course. Which did he die from that? So I think he did, didn't he? Am I allowed to say that word on this stream? Probably not. Did he kick the bucket? Did Bradley? Sadly, I was so devastated because I thought that him and Stacey made a lovely couple. Man. I don't know who is in Corey, or is Deirdre still in Corrie? And Ken Barlow, Roy's Rolls, I think, was a shop there, was as well. I was just watching Russell. Is that the real George Russell? Potentially, as Brabbitt got shafted there when he was P5 and it disconnected there. So sadly, so actually that's a very good point there. Thank you very much, Rufus. I was talking absolute hogwash. So the grid has gone back to how it was before then. So unfortunately, the last race lap is not going to count then. So we're back to square one then. 5 laps are on there. 5 lights are on then. We're back racing here in Australia. It's lights out and it's go, go, go. We got a bit of ghosting then as Julian has taken the lead there. It's a bit of a more difficult start for Sweet Crown into turn 1 now. As they go into turn 1, once again there's a Cadillac running wide. And once again I think the marquee's been bullied out there. Or is that Riley? I think it's Riley's had a terrible start. Yellow flag in the background there. Someone's gone off. It's King off in the background there. Sorry, JJ King off the circuit. Emerson is now fighting, but he's dropped down to 8th. And there's an Alpine off in the background as well. They was very well behaved in the opening stages there, but unfortunately in this second start it's been a pretty difficult one as KD has lost the whole of the end plate there, unfortunately. They're flying past me now there. As they're coming up then, as we got Equals leads, Julian in second place there, Sweet Crown followed by Basil, and Basil now on the inside then, of course, making their debut tonight then is Rewind. If you just joined us, so we've had to have a disconnect. Equals is going to lose the lead then, it's turn 1. I've pressed pause, I need to unpress pause. Equals has lost the lead here. I'm getting too excited as I almost fell off my chair. Julian leads second position then. Is Equals, Sweet Crown in a third position about that. Then we got to Basil, Mortal in a fifth position. Marking Brabant, Emerson down 2 positions there. And then we just take a look at Gamer is having. Oh no, that Aston Martin's almost out. It is out of control there. Sweet is. He's dropped down the order, and there's more ghosting going on here. As unfortunately, it's a bit of a crime scene in the middle part of the circuit, in the middle part of the midfield. Then Knowlesy's in the pits. There, that's a horror show. Equals retakes the lead. Then the Ferrari's in the pits. Equals leads as we complete lap 1 here in Australia. My word. And flying past us now. And as my goodness gracious me, and here comes Basil then using the overspeed and the overtake mode. He's got overtake mode. You can tell because the telemetry's gone blue. Basil on the outside, so the Brundle turned through and into a third position. The Duke is past Kieran as well on the inside to the car park of turn 4. Kieran down into 10th position. He's still up 1 position compared to his start line there. My word then. And now we got Savasta in 14th position. Tory is up 8 positions. Great start from Tory once again then. Really good start indeed there for the Red Bull. Nosey now right to the back of the field, unfortunately, on the hard tire. So let's see how that transpires. Basil now in second position as Julian stands third on those hard tires, of course. Different change of strategy. Sorry, I did press my mute button at the time. Marky up in the 6th position. I apologize to Marky. I thought he was dropping down the order. It was actually Riley. Contact then as Marky giving Immortal a bit of encouragement into turn 12. We got Kieran in Potstuff. Potstuff's run wide. Or was he shoved off the road there? And he's dropped down into 12th position. There's Gamers now into 11th. There's action, drama, and it's absolute anarchy out there at the moment. As Riley's down into 19th position there. As that is such a shame for Riley. It's a double whammy because we also heard that he's lost out majorly, hasn't he? As Basil takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix on lap 3 out of 29, but there's a long way to go in this one. As there's it's so different kind of racing now, isn't there? It's all about the battery management in this Grand Prix. Incredible stuff indeed there. Julian stretching the car to the 10 car gap to the max, says Anthony on the formation lap. Then Emerson all over the back of Brabbit is the double world champion, and Farf was unprofessional. He swore at me. Never, says Farf. I do not believe that for a second, Mushroom, but Farf never swears. Of course, he's a man of decorum, is our Farf. Here comes Marky. Where is he? He's on the outside. He takes 5th position, passes the Aston Martin driver on the outside. And what about Brabbit? Is he through as well? Yes, he is through in number 2, 6th position there. As we've got also more action going on. Here comes Hilton. Oh, goodness me, that's my Crofty impression there. Hilton up into 7th position. Mortal has lost 2 positions, 3 positions in that flurry of action and drama. Word? What? My word. Gamer down in 12th position now, as we got a Sweet Crowd who's fighting Marky on the exit of turn 12, turn 14 I should say. This is unique to these rules, so isn't there? There's so many different overtaking opportunities now. You just don't know where to look there. Brabbit having a sniff on the inside of Marky. Marky's looking strong in that Cadillac, isn't he? Of course, the new team that Cadillac are, and my word, they've hit the ground running, and Marky is certainly leading the Cadillac charge at the moment in 5th position. Doesn't it feel good to say Cadillac? I love it. Fantastic stuff. Brabbit in 6th position with serious Russian word. Yeah. I think I was meant to say my word, but I just couldn't get it out. Excuse me. Hey yo. But Sylvester in 14th position now, trying to get past Potstuff, who is struggling a bit there, it feels like. Sweet dropping down into 5th as well. I'm sure that you want the Alpines are damaged as well, but they've not come into the pits. The only driver that has come into the pits, and we've got a change there, is Sweet has dropped 2 positions there. Sweet Crown, I should elaborate then, as Brabbit's now in the 4th position there. I'm going to keep an eye on, oh my gosh there, I'm clenching, I've hit the drivers are doing more than clenching there, and the McLaren, as we got 10 crowds now into 2nd position. I don't know where to look, this is ridiculous. And now we got Gamer into 12th position, and Sylvester, no, it's Potstuff through, and up into 13th position. This is absolute chaos in the opening stage of the Australian Grand Prix. Potstuff in the 14th position there, as Mad Max also involved as well, back at the front then. Look at that, Julian's got a half a second gap then. That's the biggest I think I've seen the lead on this race anyway. Down into turn 1 there, and we got Mortal getting past Sweet Crown, down into 8th position. Sweet Crown was on pole position as he goes back around the outside. Look right, there he goes, the Mercedes back into 7th position now. Mortal into 8th. Here comes the Duke, is up into 9th as well. As I can't remember the Duke featuring in this race so far, but goodness gracious me, the Duke's also now being gate crashed as well. I think he started 9th on the grid. He is now up into He's now into, he started 10th, he's now into 9th position, but he's very close to the back of his teammate. They're rinsing their batteries, says Serious Mushroom there. As Emerson's almost out of the overtake mode as well. Of course, the overtake mode is replacing DRS. Here comes Brabbit on the outside, also got overtake mode. Brabbit has gone through and into 4th position there. So Serious Mushroom thinks that the drivers are rinsing their battery, using too much deployment, and because of that, that's going to come back to bite him, I think. That Brabbit's out of the overtake detection. We're keeping on that. You can see on the left-hand side tower that you have to be in a second of, within a second of the car behind the car in front, I should say. Oh. As Vassier on the outside of Sweet now, and I'm going to do 15th position. We got Riley trying to recover. Now I must admit, I absolutely agree there with Ruthless Venom there. I'm absolutely Max! He's off the circuit there, and I think he reset the track there. But let's pretend like I didn't see that. Mad Max jumped down to 21st position there, unfortunately. Julian's on hard as well. I must admit, I think that I did feel that Julian probably does have an advantage there, but I would like to be interested to see what Van Von can do. Van Von he's missed this race and he missed the last race in Abu Dhabi, but apart from that, Van Von won the last 2 races that he participated in. Mad Max into the pits for the Williams car, but Mad Max is really struggling out there at the moment, unfortunately. This is I think that this race is going to be a rich harvesting race, or a very heavy harvesting race on the terminology. I'm still trying to get me head around it then. Rabbit looks very quick, says Ruthless Venom as well. As Rabbit in fourth position. There he is in the Ferrari, and he is towing Emerson along quite nicely indeed. Marky is outside of the overtake mode then, which could hurt. We heard Emerson say in the break between the failed first race that once you're out of that overtake mode, it's very difficult to you get just cut adrift, don't you? So Emerson, so that's going to be very interesting indeed. Waiting to see me tomorrow. Only downloaded the DLC yesterday. Goodness me. The final turn there is Basil's drifted. They're coming over the line as well. Of course, Farpa doesn't need any practice, though, is it? It'll be unfair on the rest of the competition. Down into turn 1, and Julian is just about starting to get out of that overtake mode, isn't he? As we've got more shenanigans there. As Vessier's dropped down into 17th position in the Audi there. Vessier's got off the circuit there, and that's the wing gone from the Audi driver. And JJ King is through and into 17th position there. Oh dear. So Vessier is going to have to come into the pit. So there's KD who's limping, and the Activera is going to be very much disturbed there with the whole of the wing gone. Look at that. There's the whole of the right wing section gone on the world champion from Silver, and also getting a penalty as well. Basil is through, and look at that. They're out of the detection zone now. Julian is just scampering off down the road now. Rabbits are quick, but a tortoise can be quick as well. Battery or speed, Farf? I think the Farf's the speed man, isn't he? I know that Farf does like that film. I don't know if Farf watched that film, actually. It's a classic, though, isn't it? I'm not sure about Speed 2, though, of course. Keanu Reeves wasn't there, so I wasn't really keen. But Sandra Bullock was in both. Fantastic. Russell, I'm doing 40th position. Of course, Russell did not participate in qualifying. He was a very late substitute driver. So Russell's now into 14th position and coming through the field very nicely indeed. He's now into 14th position on lap 8 then. That McLaren is not looking very planted on the rear there of Gamer. And Gamer then is going to be overtaken here. Remember that it's the top 15 that get points now. Of course, it's first down to 15th, and I can't remember the point system because I forgot. Is that Russell there forcing Gamer off the road, and Gamer half spinning it, and somehow Sweet and Pot Stuff avoids the half spinning Gamer there. Great reaction to but Sweet's got damage to the Aston Martin, which is probably why he's really struggling out there at the moment. That is a very unfortunate there for Sweet. Knowles, he's got past Vessier in the pits, a new nose cone there for the Audi driver. Of course, with any damage now at all on the front wings, you have to change it quite quickly. Otherwise, the active aero is just going to be all over the place and going to be very difficult. So the racing has calmed down now a bit. It certainly has from where Julian's sitting, because Julian is absolutely pulling away hand over fist from the rest of the opposition there, as we got Sweet Crown getting back past Marky. Oh my gosh, look at that. So that Red Bull diving down the inside. Kieran has got past Duke, and Duke has been left high and dry, and the second Red Bull is through as well. That's great teamwork from the team from Milton Keynes. Fantastic. And Tory's on hard tires as well. I keep forgetting about the tire strategy because it's all going off with this battery deployment. It's absolutely redonkulous. So look what's going on in this race. My word. As I go down into turn 1 now, then it'd be interesting to hear the drivers' thoughts and opinions after this race. And I think there's going to be some positive and negative. Emerson quite positive about the new regulations. As Kieran having a look on the outside of Marky. Marky there defends there, so Kieran tries to go up and under, but no dice at the moment. Back on board of Kieran. He's got overtake mode. You can tell because the overtake speedometry is blue then. Why is there speed 2? Didn't they learn the first time around? They certainly didn't, especially where William Dafoe is in the facility. And I think it was on the boat, wasn't it, rather than on the bus, as the first one was. But it wasn't just on the bus either, was it? Because I think that there was also an elevator, and I think there was in a Sweet. Oh my word! Oh, that's good. Kieran's off the circuit there, and that made me jump, and I wasn't even driving. As Kieran, I think, going. Oh my word! There in Savasta having to take evasive action there. as Sebastian now to 12th. No, Sweet Crown, the pole sitter's in the wall. The pole sitter's in the wall. Oh no! And Sweet Crown then, of course, who had a very quick qualifying, is having a horror show of a Grand Prix, and that's damage to the Mercedes-Benz car. He's going to have to go into the pit surely now, Sweet Crown is. And oh dear, and that's an early pit stop, and that's going to be an extra 5 seconds onto a quick pit stop anyway, because of course there's usually about a second, 2 seconds for a change of tires. But now with that wing change, it's going to be an extra 5 seconds. It's going to be difficult to make back up, unfortunately. Battery, says Gabber Racer. Gamer too eager to keep the place, says Richard as well. That will buff out. Carry on, says Serious Mushroom there. Of course, Serious Mushroom not part of the Mercedes clang this season. I can't remember what car Mushroom did actually. I think he's in an Alpine, isn't he? I'm sure he's an Alpine last year. Crown getting a 3-second penalty there. I think there's going to be a lot of frustration there from Sweet Crown getting pole position. Pretty impressive pole position as well in the wet qualifying session. But unfortunately, though, it's all gone a bit sideways in this one, hasn't it? Just watching this battle between Marky and Tori. Tori's got so much overspeed now. Of course, parts of the circuit which wasn't overtaken opportunities certainly are now. As Savassa's dropping down a couple positions. Because look at Russell flying through the field, and Russell's up in 10th. That's a double overtake, but Kieran's coming back out of it as they go into turn 13. 12, Sean, 12. As goodness me, that is. Look at this, that is. Kieran is under the is definitely being attacked, and we've got to get some pits off now. Duke's in the pits, and I think Sebastian, the McLaren Mercedes, is also in the pits as well. Good heavens above, gentlemen. And look at this, Kieran trying to get the fence there. George Russell then coming out from a good call. Russell coming out from under the steering of the Red Bull. Kieran's gone wide, and I wonder if Russell now has the overtake mode. Kieran doesn't know. Just checked there, and Russell's gone on the outside. Great maneuver. Kieran looking up the inside there. Kieran's gone wide. Couldn't slow the Red Bull down. And Russell into 9th position. Pot 7th to 10th. And Kieran is having a pretty messy couple of laps in the Red Bull, and will be now under threat, I think, from Gamer and JJ King. And unfortunately, Sweet Crown out of the race. Our first retiree, or our first official retiree of the 2026 season. We've got Equaz who's lost out to Emerson. But now Equaz is going to come back at him in the Haas car then. And look at this, that is Equaz. Oh, goodness gracious me, Equaz backs off there. As Brabbit now up into 2nd position. Julian is completely gone there. He is gone like the wind, isn't he? There's a new Toy Story for that, though, isn't he? Right like the wind, bullseye. Into 13 we come then. So is everyone going to roll the dice coming to the pits? I think that's Hilton into the pits there, because the racing bulls have gone for an alternative strategy there, with Julian on the hard tyres, Emerson on the medium there, so they're not going to trip over each other in the pit lane. And normally teammates would probably have a bit of a chatter before thinking about when to come into the pits there. But lap 12 seems like the best time to come into the pits there. Alpine. Kieran should have waited for the next straight there. Serious Russian is in the Alpine. Gosh, my memory is getting so much better in my old years. Russell's up into 7th position, and Russell is flying, isn't he? Goodness me. Russell is loving these new cars, and of course, as Russell going up and under, through and into 6th position now. Squeezes Potster through and up into 6th. Sweet sets the fast up the race. You still get a bonus point for fast lap, of course. Doesn't matter, as long as you finish the race there, you do not have to finish in the top 10 or top 15 or anything like that. We got rules like Formula E back in yesteryear. Joe Russell now into 6th position. That's an incredible result from Russell. Basil now into 2nd position there. Brabbit dropping down to 3rd in the Ferrari. But Brabbit looking very didn't look comfortable in qualifying, but race trim is a lot better for the silver champion. Season 7 wasn't it? Julian is fine. Let's go. He absolutely is. Julian is just absolutely dancing off into the sunset here in Albert Park. Incredible. Here comes JJ King then, all over the gearbox of a Gamer then, but Gamer then pulling away now as Gamer does have overtake then, as Equaz has got back past Emerson. These two are the top 2 drivers that half pitted in this race as we're coming up to half distance in this Australian Grand Prix. My goodness gracious me, I'm certainly earning my bang for me buck then. Into the pits comes Basil, Brabbit and Markey. Let's see what the overcut does. We haven't even spoke about the overcut in this race. It's been absolutely dramatic. Going over the grid hatchings now. King is stayed out there. So King and Potstep are coming in. But look. Oh my gosh, and Basil there, very close into the nose cone. But Basil is squirreling as KD has got a 3-second penalty. Here comes Brabham on the outside into the Brando turn. Not quite then, as Basil keeps in 8th position there. Brabham then keeps in a 9th spot then. Only one retirement so far, and that's our pole sitter, which was Sweet Crown, who had such an incredible qualifying session there as the penalties are starting to roll in now. On board of Emerson there once again then. But what was I saying? I don't know, to be honest. Oh gosh, I can't remember. My word. In terms of the overcut and things like that, well, it's got to Emerson and Equaz past Brabham and Basil, but that's one lap different tires. So is that going to be crucial or not? Or remains to be seen. And I do think it's still going to be a one-stop in this race, but you may have to start to think about looking after those tires. Of course, we've got Julian, Toy, and Russell. 1, 2, 3, the top 3 of this Grand Prix. All drivers have not stopped yet, and all drivers then showing that these tires, the hard tires, can certainly do at least 13, 14 laps. So Potstaff has had it up and into the pits now. Then, of course, the Constructors' Champion from Silver from last season stays at the Haas for this season, of course. Oh, my word. As Equaz currently still leads this gaggle of 4 cars. Well, Julian's checked out, but behind him we've got an almighty scrap for the podium here between Equaz, Emerson, Basil, and Brabham. Then Immortal is still in the facility as well. We got Duke, who pitted a couple laps earlier than his rivals, but has lost out somewhere. Marky in 10th position, Sebastian and Sweet, who's done 5 laps on the medium tyres and has lost. Oh my gosh, what's happening there? I don't think that's legal there from Sweet. Then I think that is certainly going to hit that's certainly going to hurt the aerodynamics there, isn't it? As Sweet has got no nose cone at all, but he's somehow got a front wing. I must admit, I'm not sure if that's legal, but I don't think that even follows the laws of gravity, does it? Goodness gracious me! I know Aston Martin were in trouble, but good gracious me! Yes. Anyway, let's leave Sweet there. Won't do without his wing, but that's certainly not going to help the aerodynamic flows on that Aston Martin. Basil's now causing Emerson all kinds of grief. Emerson now. Not yielding just yet, though, as we go into turn 11 in this one. Half distance now in this Grand Prix then, so I think the drivers then, we got less fuel load now. Of course, there's no refueling in Grand Prix racing at the moment. I'd say at the moment, because that potentially could come back in 2030 or 2031 if Bin Salim does his gets what he wants, which I'm not sure about refueling. I must admit, I do come from a refueling era, but also as well as I'm not sure a lot of the overtaking was done in the pit lane. Actually, let's wait. Absolutely. So I must admit, I'm not sure if I was going to get past scrutineering, especially with Farfet's involved with his magnifying glass. He uses it for a lot of things, including scrutineering as well. So maybe Sweet might have to sweet talk Farfet potentially of getting past there and keeping that car legal. Right then as well. Jinx says Sirius Busher. Wait, Saban, smart that says Sirius Busher. Well, of course, we all know about the past with Formula 1 cars. Toronto cars are weird and wonderful things. What did Tyrrell do in 1984? They did something. They got themselves thrown out. Did they use they used like ball bearings or something like that, didn't they? Like lead shot or something in their water tanks that which weighed the car down. And then they like dumped it in the race or something like that, didn't they? I think they did something similar in the 1981 rules or 1982, where normally aspirated cars were lighter than the turbo cars, but of course they had to conform to a certain weight limit and all that kind of stuff, and they used to dump the water out during the races. So then they was like during the races, then they would fill it back up ready for scrutineering in the early 80s, of course. I don't think that would fly these days with it, but great history, isn't it, in Formula 1 there. I didn't explain that very well at all, but I must admit I can't get my head around a lot of these things. So we're starting to spread out now slightly then. So the early action from the opening stage of this race was absolute anarchy. Now then it's becoming a bit of a standard at Grand Prix as it stands at the moment, certainly from where I'm standing. It's all calmed down a bit. I do feel sorry for Riley. Riley out of the Grand Prix for Riley, but I must say that Riley must be feeling very confident for the race tomorrow night on Silver, which of course same place, same channel, same time and all that kind of stuff. And of course we got a 6 o'clock video that should be coming out at 6 o'clock if I've scheduled it right, which, let's be honest about it, is a big if. Emerson's lost out to Basil. Brabham's also got past Equaz as well. I do feel that Basil and Brabham and Basil are quicker than Emerson and Equaz at this stage of the race. As we got Sebastian getting past Marquis in the battle for 10th and 11th position. I got 10th and 11th position. Oh, there's damage on the Cadillac. That's why Marquis has not gained the time positions that I was expecting there from the Cadillac driver. That's the problem, isn't it? If you damage your wings in this era of Formula 1, then you've really got to come to the pits. Riley's left the session there, but all good things. I feel that Riley's got a good base for tomorrow night in Silver, of course. 6 o'clock then for the season preview for Silver, of course. I'm just going to go through the drivers and the constructors for season 12 of Silver. So do not miss that, of course. Just take a look to see how all the drivers are feeling before the start of the World Championship, and the same for bronze as well. But I haven't done the bronze video yet, then, so I got to get up very early tomorrow, or I got to get home very early to sort that out as well. Of course, that'll be the same time as well, but on Wednesday, where it'll be a preview of the championship coming up there for bronze season 12, and it'll be interesting to see who's driving where and all that kind of stuff there. Everyone's B2B to it. They filled water, they filled tank with water as well and dumped it, so serious question. In the 80s, which I must admit, I do miss that era of Formula 1. But could you imagine how that would come about now? Didn't BAR have like what's it? A hidden fuel tank, didn't they? Where they used to use it as ballast. So of course, they got thrown out of 2 races, didn't they? Well, they wasn't allowed to participate in the European and Spanish Grand Prix of 2005. They also got disqualified from the San Marino Grand Prix of 2005 as well. They were lucky not to be thrown out of the championship, because Max Mosley was not a happy chappy at all about that. So whilst I've been waffling on, which is always serious question for, because I get distracted too easily, we've got Julian, who's now on the outside of Sebastian and through and up into at 9th position. Julian's got the same issue as the Aston Martin there. Goodness gracious me, that's also weight saving as well. We're talking about weight saving, but Julian is also going to have to be incurring the wrath of the stewards, I think, because that is surely not legal. And goodness gracious me, I remember on one of the old F1 games actually, whereas Julian just about stops the car, but the Cadillac trying to come back at him and Marky, but Julian has the position and he's back up in his 7th now. So Julian's got a lot of work to do. I say a lot of work, he's about 7 seconds away from the gaggle of the top runners, and with just 11 laps to go of the opening race of the season 15 of the World Championship there. Of the World Championship, but Julian is now in 7th position there. What an incredible start to this Grand Prix. 2 retirements! Oh my gosh! And now then, this is going to get interesting, because can Julian use those fresh tyres there I don't know why, I always giggle and stuff like this. Where we look at that, goodness gracious me, that really defies the laws of gravity, doesn't it? Goodness me, Julian's not only quick here, but he's also defying all kinds of scientific marvel going on in this one. But Julian does have to now start to see if he can put his toe down now and see if he can catch those Gagler cars. Of course, in yesteryear, I think it would have been easier than what it is now. But let's see then, because he's not got to overtake anymore, which means that Marky could try and come back at him, as he is going to come back at him now. Marky said this could be a problem for Julian there. Maybe going on the alternative strategy is not a wise thing to do in this new era of Formula 1 there. Julian has been in control of this Grand Prix, but now it could be mission critical here. He's trying to go on the outside. We've got a yellow flag on the start-finish straight. What has happened there? It's one of the Aston Martins, and it's a virtual safety car. It is Sweet, who is just who's having a pretty horrific start to his season in the Aston Martin. He's lost the whole of the front. Well, he didn't have the front wing to begin with, so but he's in the pits now. Sweet is down in 20th position now and having issues there. It's always my fault, but you love it. Absolutely. If you're not here, Bushy, who am I going to blame? I'm not blaming Farf, because. Well, now Sweet's got a nose cone. As Farf is asked, where is Julian's nose cone? We don't know. It's absolutely disgusting. It really is indeed. Then I think that Farf is not going to be a happy man about that. Of course, we've already heard about Farf in scrutineering later on there. Sadly, Farf has clocked on what Julian's doing here with this weight save. Oh no! And the Sweet's race goes from bad to worse. And I must say that Sweet may just pack up and go home and get ready for the next race in Japan in a week's time then. Sweet as call it a day out of the Grand Prix. There's a lot of frustration at Aston Martin there. I do not blame him whatsoever. It has been a pretty horrific stuff indeed there. Right, as we've got a full safety car. So Sweet calls that full safety car. Now that's not good. It's going to spice up the race a bit. Look how close the drivers are. There's no one close to being lapped there. So these rules have fairly certainly bunched up the field. However, this has really thrown a curveball into this one now, and I think the Sweet may be under investigation for that. The ghost on that one needs to be sorted out. Then says Riley. Oh, that's so I thought the potential the ghosts had been sorted, but I must admit, on the second time of going, it didn't look very good. Was it also bad? Kieran's behind that Sweet somehow. I don't know how that's happened. Was it bad on the first as well as the second? Oh, yeah, the ghosting does need to be sorted out because it ruined a lot of races last year as well. I remember Flippy got absolutely torpedoed out the way, not by Fiat, but by I can't remember who it was by now, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. So disappointed, it really is indeed. Then it's been on the coke, says Farfair. Of course, we do condone. We do condone that kind of behaviour as well, unless of course you mean Coca-Cola, obviously. I haven't got any Coca-Cola at the moment. I'm very sad. I'm having to rely on this cheap Lidl Coke or whatever it is. But by the way, I don't mind it. But I'm not a man who shops at Lidl's. I'm more of a man who shops at Tesco's. So into the pits now comes Basil. So this safety car has changed procedures right up there. It's cars. Oh my gosh, Danica Westbrook. Into the pits comes Basil now then. So this has changed the race completely then. So what is Julian going to do? Julian has stayed out, but is he going to get out in front? I think he might just about, but this is going to be. Yes, Julian still leads the race there. But even with no nose cone, Julian leads the race with Marky in second there. Basil in first, Sebastian in fourth. So a lot of drivers are coming to the pits, and the safety car is a very suspicious safety car in this one. I feel that Sweet may be in a bit of trouble there with the stewards on that one, especially with Farf lurking about in the comments, unfortunately. And also, as well as I've dobbed him in as well. But having said that, I did kind of encourage Sweet to probably call it a day with that final drive from penalty. Knowles going on the pitch now, but JJ King is going to get himself back up into 15th position here. Knowles is out in 16th, and Mad Max having a horror show day as well. But hats off to him for sticking with it then. But sadly for Knowles, he's going to be behind Mad Max now. Did Knowles go over the yellow line there? Admin privilege, you said that right, Bishop. Just watching Julian now. Riley, every car on that one was ghosting, not for the whole lap, it was just 1 to 3. I've moaned about it in the season review. That's one thing that's really irking me at the moment is these ghosting, because I thought it was fixed. I really did, but that's absolutely that's devastating that the ghosting's not fixed. I would get on my high horse today, but I'm not going to. We got to keep it positive for the opening stage of this one now. And also, as well as I've got very much a lot of sweat at the moment. I might have to get my own sports bra. Gentlemen's agreement that one is race and lap 2. How is that going to turn out? There's no gentleman in these Formula 1 cars. I absolutely don't believe it whatsoever. Didn't Michael Schumacher try to do that something similar in the 2001 Italian Grand Prix? Where they was very concerned about it was when it was either the first year or second year they installed that chicane that called the Rettifiglio, I think it was, not the old chicane, the double chicane was called the Rettifiglio, wasn't it, or something like that, and then they went to that one chicane which we have now, and Schumacher tried to get that sorted, but unfortunately it didn't go too well, did it? By the way, thank you very much for joining us on this opening race. And it's a bit elongated, this one. I know there's a lot of you who would probably be thinking about going to bed. I certainly would be, because I must admit this is the latest I've been up in such a long time. I'm usually in bed at 7 o'clock these days, because I'm getting a very old so-and-so. So, you know, I'm just old and grumpy these days, but there we go. Good stuff indeed then. I think for the race tomorrow in Silver, the formation lap should be turned off. See if that helps, and says Riley. I think that might be right then. Because I must admit, when we tested it on Sunday, it looked fine, the ghosting did. I was not paying too much attention to it because, by the way, is the stream any better now? Because I haven't changed anything. Anyway, going back to the ghosting. Because I must admit, I haven't heard anyone moan yet, but I must admit, I haven't been paying attention either. But yeah, there was no ghosting, was there, on the Was there a ghost? There was no ghost in the test one. It's really annoying. All right, safety cars in this lap then. So let's see how this one transpires. Whether say the soft tires get to the end or not remains to be seen. Hello to Rocket League. Good evening to you, Rocket League. Great to have you in the comments. Great to have you along as well. Well, if Becca was here, she would have she would just drive off. Yes, probably the worst jump start I've ever seen in Formula One history. As she jumped the start in Abu Dhabi and just continued on. Welsh Maldonado. That's why we had it. Welsh Maldonado. Enjoyed Welsh Maldonado's company, did we, way back in yesteryear, before Emerson scared him off. Right, evening Rocket. Then we've also got no, it's still bad. Well, that's rubbish because I wanted formation lap on, so maybe I should wipe my neck in. So how long is the safety car? Safety car said. How long is the soft tires going to last for as well? By the way, Farp's very much keeping his eagle eye on Julian with that lack of nose cone. That's a terrible start from Marky, and unfortunately, there's no overtaking until the start-finish line. So so Basil's got to stay behind Marky, and Marky is producing a bit of a nice buffer down into turn one now. As the Red Bull of Tori all over the back now as Savasta stayed out, Tori stayed out as well. Kieran as they got a 3-second penalty. Can Basil win on his debut? He's had a superb start so far. And now Marky has gone wide into there's a McLaren off the circuit. Who is that? That is, I think, Savasta drumming down the order. The old tires is not helping at all. And George Russell's is in peril as well. Sorry, Russell, not George Russell. G Russell, I should call him. As Brabbit who is trying to fend off Russell. Brabbit on the newish medium tires out. He is going for Tori. He's going this way and that way. Tori for in the championship in silver last season, getting promoted this season. Brabbit needs to get past now. He has got past. He's on the outside. He's through. As Kieran's in the wall. Kieran is in the wall. And that's a huge shunt. That's a huge shunt between Duke and Kieran. And this is what we was concerned about with this new regulation of battery. And it's a safety car again. It's a huge shunt now. Kieran is out of the race there. Hopefully it's all right then. But Duke Duke is still in the race there, but no wing there. Oh my word there. We didn't see what happened there. Good evening to you, Kiki. Of course, Kiki is a new dad now, isn't he? Kiki is the daddy, and also, of course, Kiki's got has got a mini me, which is great stuff indeed. We'll come back to Kiki in just a jiffy. Of course, Kiki not racing this season because he's got father privileges at the moment. Duke then got the wing damage there. We was concerned, wasn't we, about the batteries deployments, a lot of harvesting, a lot of lifting coast as well, and I'm wondering if that happened with Kieran and Duke then. We did not see what happened, but they're all into the pits now on this safety car. Who does it help and hinder then? And the safety cars, good to see you've had two in this opening stage of this Australian Grand Prix. Absolutely odd stuff indeed there. Odd stuff, not wonderful stuff, absolutely action-packed and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I got distracted. By the way, is the stream okay? Is the stream still grainy and stuff? Because if it is, I'm going to have to try and fix that for tomorrow, which is not really something I want to do, to be honest, but there you go. On my side, it looks fine. So maybe it's a YouTube thing. Maybe I need to Google it potentially. Or no, it's not Google anymore. What do I do now? It's Gemini, isn't it? Is that what Formula E is sponsored by? Are we sponsored by Gemini? Not yet. We're sponsored by Boxbox at the moment, aren't we? So maybe I should ask Boxbox to help me out. I don't think that's what they do, and all that kind of stuff. Congratulations to Kiki. Congratulations for Rocket League and Serious Mushroom. I'm not sure if that was meant to be common knowledge or not. So I apologise to Kiki and his partner. You know, I'm a loudmouth, and I don't keep any secrets at all, which is why I'm not allowed in any admin meetings anymore, which is very sad indeed. If you just joined us, hello. Why are we still running? I'm not sure. Well, apart from the fact that we had to do a restart, and so these drivers who were prepared for this Grand Prix is probably getting a bit difficult now in terms of concentration and all that kind of stuff there. But we are still going at the moment. Now, Julian has got no front nose section there, which Farp is very unhappy about. He's up in arms, and I feel that Farp is going to be kicking off, I think, tomorrow night as well. I think Farp is also the admin for Silver, isn't he, if I'm not very much mistaken, or is that Smithy now? I can't remember. I can't remember. But whatever the case may be, if Farp is the host for Silver, we know it's going to be rain. You know, we did have rain in this race, didn't we? Sean and Rocket League then, he's a future ALR driver, yeah. Yes, it's grainy. Oh, I don't know why. Why is it grainy? I'm going. To be honest, I have moved my setup now. I'm wondering what. I don't think I've changed anything on the stream now. Oh dear. hopefully you can deal with it until next week, because I think that's gonna be a weekend job. I hate testing the stream. It wasn't grainy last night though. Maybe I should turn off the other stream then, potentially. What have I downloaded, I hear you ask? Let's not go there. We'll have 25 out of 29 here in this race. Very much, I appreciate all the likes as well. We've got 10 likes on the stream, fantastic. We still got 151 subscribers, which means that Santa Mo Fire will not be sending me a chocolate bar for Christmas. So please get those subscribes and like on the go. Dom, sorry I'm late, chaps. I had to go into the office, and Evo is 7th place. He is indeed there, but Everson. But we have to caveat that, because we think Everson is under investigation for being underweight, and also for taking someone out as well. By the way, that's a joke. Stream is fine, says Kiki. So I'm going to blame everyone else but me, because it can't be a me problem. So we get going once again, as in this Australian Grand Prix. Ooh. Oh, I've just ripped a bit of skin off my finger. Ow, that hurt. Oh gosh. Right, we gotta go racing again, haven't we? So at the moment, Julian then did not come into the pits. The only drivers that came into the pits on that second safety car was Knowlesy, Sylvester, and the Duke. Everyone else stayed out. Julian is not pitted under either safety cars, but he's now got Basil for company. Basil on his debut. Can he win on his debut in Grand Prix racing? Goodness gracious me. Emerson almost won on his debut, but he bottled it, didn't he, in Azerbaijan? Coming across the line, and here we go once again. I'm so cruel to him at the moment. Basil going side by side into turn one, not quite. But look at Tory, he is blown through, and now Markey's gone through Brabham as well. Brabham didn't have any deployment there. What's happened to the Ferrari? He is struggling. There's a problem for Brabham in his departure deployment, and Emerson on the outside. We have got to Brabham down the inside there. The Red Bulls through the Audis off the circuit, and Brabham's still in 5th position. Let me get me tower back on. Russell's having the 4th. Incredible stuff. He's making moves. My word there. I'm not sure. The real Russell's not doing a good job in F1, but my goodness me, the Russell on the ALR's Russell is doing a superb job in having a 4th position. Here comes Brabham though. And now Brabham then, who did have no deployments going into turn 1 or into turn 3, is now all over the gearbox there. As now flying past on the outside of Brabham into 4th position. He is through and back up into 4th there. Incredible stuff indeed there. As we go back into the front there, Basil is still behind Julian at the moment. Julian with no nose. To ignore that though, because that's just a graphical glitch. I think that Russell on the inside of Emerson there. Emerson's going to be forced out wide of Russell, bullying Emerson out off the outside, and Russell still into 5th position. Adding no pressure to Hilton 44, but he's being forced onto the grass as Russell's making his car as wide as my waistline. Coming up there is, oh goodness me, it's Russell. Did he have issues? Look at the slipstream going on. Basil having a look at the turn 1. That 27 out of 29 there. This is going to be a grandstand finisher. On to inside there, guys. Russell's got a 3-second penalty. Equals is back into 7th position now. Incredible stuff indeed. I'm dribbling as Emerson is now into 5th. Russell's down into 6th position, but he's gone up 16th position. Markey's got back past Equals, and now Potstuff all over his teammate as well. The Aston Martin of Mortal in 10th position with Gamer in 11th. King is in 12th on his debut. Superb. Mad Max, Fessier, and KD completes the top 15 runners and riders. It's the top 15 that scores points, of course. And Brabham is going for 3rd position. He's through. He's in 3rd. And Basil takes the lead. I've missed it. Basil leads the Australian Grand Prix, and that safety car has really hurt Julian, hasn't it? Maybe the strategy call as well, but I think that safety car is going to certainly be coming under scrutiny, I think, coming at the end of this race shortly, as Mortal's now into 8th position now. Look at the cars there here that Everett's like spaghetti. Oh, Debris! There is the contact was there. Oh, the circuit goes for Mortal as he got damaged there. I'm sure it's in Debris come off of someone's car, and that's a Williams who's gone on the inside as well. That's Mad Max without an end plate there. And the two LPs are tripping over each other as well on that 28 out of 29 in this one. There's a car off. It's a Mortal off the circuit there, down into 18th position. It's absolute carnage in this race there. Basil leads. Julian in 2nd position. Brabham in front. The gap is a 2.5. That's maybe too much there. Emerson is in 4th position. Russell in 6th there with Equal 7th. Markey followed by Gamer, followed by Potstuff in 10th position. Vessier is all up to 11th now with Mad Max. King on the outside. JJ King into 4th. Oh no, and there's contact again. And that's an Alpine spun there. KD is having a horror show gold race there. Down in 17th position. The Mortal comes out now. Basil leads. But look at Julian. He's coming back at him now. My goodness gracious me. This has been an absolute incredible race. I need to calm down. This has been absolutely redonkulous. And we're coming to the climax of this Australian Grand Prix. Basil still leads it. Potstuff has got past. Look at this is where the action is at the moment. Potstuff, oh my word. And game it down to 10 position. Vessier is out on the facility as well. He's going on the outside. I didn't even know there was a car swift there, but there is. Here's Vessier. Vessier is going to try the outside. Oh, he's going to cover the eyes there. But Vessier is in 10th position. And what great Vessier's making moves here. JJ King is now into 11th position on his debut. He's doing a great job for the Alpine team, and Alpine are going to be loving this on the inside of Vessier. Oh no, it's too much torque there from the Alpine car, and it's dropped down into 12th position. Mad Max is through, and the battle for the lead. Then I've gone the wrong way. The battle for the lead. Then Julian takes the lead with just 1 lap to go on this Australian Grand Prix. This is epic there. Now then, great guns, and we got 3 cars fighting for the lead. Then and look at this. There's Julian is defending. Basil's in second, going for his debut Grand Prix win on his first start. And Julian going for his 4th Grand Prix win, I think now. Oh my word, probably going for his 3rd win as well, as we've got yellow flags there, and there's issues there down at the back. We'll have a look later on then. Well, I can't because we haven't got a replay system. But look at this now, yellow flags again, and it's one of the Ferraris off. It's Nosey having an issue. Basil going back for the lead. Then he's all over the gearbox. He's out of battery though. He's out of battery, and Julian defending superbly well for Racing Bulls. My goodness gracious me, Racing Bulls got a Constructors' Championship on their debut, but of course it was a terrible season last season. Now Brabham is through, and Brabham's going for the lead there. Oh my goodness me, just ran out of him. He's got so much battery, has Brabham, and he's still in overtake mode as well. Has he got anything left? Can he use it going towards the line there? Brabham's going for the lead. He's going for it then. He finds it. There's contact. Julian, and they're ghosted, but Julian now somehow keeps the race leader out of the final turn there, and Julian is going to win the Australian Grand Prix by the minutest of margins. Wow, absolutely incredible stuff. But what a Grand Prix that was. That is Julian's Julian's 4th Grand Prix win of his career in ALR, and Racing Bulls have got off to the perfect start here. Julian wins the Australian Grand Prix with Brabham in 2nd, Basil in 3rd position there. Absolutely ridiculous stuff indeed that in this incredible Australian Grand Prix. I think the Bulls have got fastest lap as well. I thought I was in the spot of rain, or was that sweat there? But Julian, 4th Grand Prix win of his career. It is rated there on the final stage as well. Good job the race wasn't delayed any further there. As Knowles, he probably said that there is some rain clouds coming in, wants to get this one going. Absolutely ridiculous indeed there. I'm in 7th place there. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed there. It's always a you problem, Sean, says Rocket Lee. How dare you? My stream's alright, Sean. That might be a PS5 thing. Insane says Serious Motion there. Equals is a thumbs up as well. Sorry I'm late, chaps. I had to go to... Oh, sorry, I've already read that. Who got driver of the day? Well, George Russell got driver of the day on my screen now. Most overtakes was Tory. Then Emerson got cleanest. What? Oh, gosh, I'm allergic to that. We got past that for a motor. Let's take a full look at the classification. And from the opening race of the Australian Grand Prix, had to have a 2-parter in this one. Julian, his 4th Grand Prix win of his career. 2nd position was Brabham with 3rd position Basil then. 4th position was Emerson with Tory from 21st to 5th. What a drive. Equals in 6th position. Russell from 22nd to 7th. Markey 8th. 9th Vessier. Gamer in 10th. JJ King on his debut in 11th. Superb. 12th Mad Max. 13th position was Potster with Sebastian 14th. The Duke in 15th for getting that final point net. Remember, it's the top 15 that gets the points now. Knowlesy just outside the points at 16th. KD 17th. Immortal gets that fastest. That retirements get Kieran, Sweet, Riley, and Sweet Crown all out of the Australian Grand Prix. Oh, mega stuff indeed that. Oh my word, there. Right, I've got to sit back down now because I am absolutely, I'm befuddled. I'm absolutely befuddled as well. Mega stuff there. Driver of the day then, Baza got 6 7. Oh no, 6 7. Got to 67 of the vote then. Fantastic indeed. Right then, let's get on with Brabham then and chat to Brabham in the comments box as well. Brabham, your first experience in ALR anyway, in terms of that new way of racing there, it was absolutely ridiculous, and you almost won it. You was a 10th away from clinching the opening race win of the season there. What was your thoughts on the racing today?
First of all, very happy to hear your voice again. It's always a pleasure to hear you, especially in the commentary box. Really glad to be on the podium in the season beginning. because it's quite tough for me to prepare for the races. But I think I was well prepared, except the qualifying. I'm so bad in the qualifying. And yeah, the race always was against me. Like the first start was really solid. I ran from P12 to P7 or P6, then worked further to P5 or something like that. Then we had our lobby breakdown. Then we had another restart, and I had to start again from P12. But yeah, I think I did very good moves. Strategy was fine. Um, yeah, but the late safety cars were hurting me. I think without the safety car, my chances to win were higher. But overall, to be honest, it was really fun to race with the guys in front, and really enjoying the podium today.
And what about the new regulations then? You said it was really fun to fight. Do you enjoy the batteries? Do you enjoy the battery management and all the new rules and regs, or do you find it frustrating?
Um, if you ask me, I would prefer racing with raw pace. So this would mean that the fastest driver will probably win. But with the experience today, it was quite good. So I think we have to wait and see how the other races and how the other tracks will went. But for the first impression, it was a great race and it was a great experience. It's a lot of management. Like, it's not really important to nail every corner. It's more important to manage. But right now, I'm fine with it, and I'm happy with the result today.
And towards the end as well, you almost stole the Grand Prix win as well. You had a good old lunge down into 13. One more lap, you could have won this race.
Yes. I'm so confident to say yes. But I really forgot. First of all, congrats to Julian. He deserves the win, I think, with a solid qualifying and a great race. And also congrats to Bas. I don't know him from the past, but he did really well today. And really happy to be on the podium and looking forward to the next races.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brad. Been a superb race today as well. Getting second position as well. Superb stuff. Baz
Cheers.
finished third in your debut. It was absolutely superb stuff indeed. You certainly made a bit of a splash there today. But I can't help but feeling that the win may have got away with that safety car. But firstly, how did you enjoy that race today?
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. Firstly, congrats to Julian and Brabbit. That was a solid fight towards the end. Um, yeah, it's nice to be here. New league, I'm new driver, so I just, came in and just show my pace.
And of course, do you think that the safety car today cost you a Grand Prix win then potentially? Because Julian did come out quite a way behind you guys who pitted earlier on. Then, do you think the safety car really helped Julian win this one?
Potentially, potentially. I think I was on mediums, right? Julian was a little way behind. I think it would have been close to the end, but potentially. The second safety car also kind of ruined it as well, because yeah, I think I started having force feedback issues towards the end, so I couldn't feel the track anymore. But you know, first race, I'm happy to be here and happy to be on the podium.
The problem with such a good debut is that the only way is potentially down now. Of course, you could potentially get a win or a second position, but it's going to be very difficult to emulate that week on week then as we go into the Japanese Grand Prix. But what a start you've had then. I was thinking you might have been a bit of a dark horse today, but you've gone from dark horse to championship contender then.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I quite like the new regs. I mean, I wouldn't say on raw pace I'm one of the quickest, but I think this new battery management style, um, I think it benefits the guys that are just not as quick as the top guys. But if you can manage your battery well, you're in with every chance of winning.
Thank you very much, today, Baz. Great job indeed for your first podium. Great job for Brabant as well, getting on the podium as well. Julian got his fourth Grand Prix win today. Then, brilliant stuff indeed. That's going to be it then. You'll see gold again in Japan in a week's time. You'll see me tomorrow in silver, if I remember, of course, because I've been off for so long. But of course, we'll see you tomorrow night for silver. Same again then. But the first races in the books then. New regulations, new batteries. Goodness gracious me, it was absolutely a wild race. It certainly wasn't boring, was it? We'll see you tomorrow for silver. Goodbye.